political in some countries. Cash fans asked. A study showed Wednesday that more than a third of Europeans and Americans would be happy to go without cash and rely on electronic forms of payment if they could, and at least 20% already do. The survey by ING bank website Easonomics was conducted across Europe, the US and Australia. A significant 34% of respondents in Europe and 38% in the US said they'd be willing to go cash-free permanently.
There tended to be more of a bent towards accepting cashless transactions amongst the countries with lower income levels. Romania, Turkey, for example, and to a degree Poland.
And cash is already getting less popular. More than half of the European respondents said they'd used less cash in the past 12 months than previously, and 78% said they expected to use it even less over the coming 12 months. Payment systems such as contactless cards and phone-based digital wallets have become so prevalent, the issue has even become political in some countries. Cash fans Germany are concerned by the European Central Bank decision to phase out the €500 note next year, saying it's the start of a slippery slope. The Central European country still likes hard cash, with only 10% telling the survey they rarely use paper money. But the survey also showed that in most countries where cash is still widely used, residents were most likely to want to go cashless.
In my own thoughts is, we'll never go completely cashless, but more and more people will end up with a situation where they can quite comfortably get by for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, even a week, without ever using cash.
While there's no evidence that governments are planning to scrap cash as yet, some consumers think it makes perfect sense.
And now, with round-the-clock updates from Reuters journalists, here are today's
War on Cash 2.0. Visa now paying businesses to stop taking cash. Visa has officially announced that they intend to snub out cash and create a world in which all transactions are monitored and tracked. By Matt Agarist, July 17, 2017. According to the most recent data, Visa, which is mostly owned by banks, accounts for over 50% of all credit card transactions and 70% of all debit card transactions in the world. Hundreds of billions in transactions processed through Visa's databases every year, and this number continues to grow. Despite their overwhelming increase in market share, cards issued, and overall total volume, Visa has made a recent move that shows they intend to completely snub out their most unaccountable, untraceable, and most liberty-associated competitor and means of payment, cash. In a news release, ostensibly written as an attempt to help small businesses, Visa announced that they are launching a major effort to encourage businesses to go cashless. Aiming to create a culture where cash is no longer king, the program will give merchants increased ability to accept all forms of global digital payments. At Visa, we believe you can be everywhere you want to be, and that it should be easy to pay and be paid in more ways than ever, whether it's a phone, card, wearable or other device, Jack Forstell, Visa's head of Global Merchant Solutions, said in a statement. We have an incredible opportunity to educate merchants and consumers alike on the effectiveness of going cashless. Laughably, Visa claims that companies who stop accepting cash, a major form of payment for people around the globe, that they could increase profits. Advertisement. Apparently, they want business owners to forget that they take upwards of 5% of every single transaction. The important thing to realize is that going with fast and easy is not always the best and most cost-effective, Marco Carabio, a credit expert, wrote in a 2013 U.S. Small Business Administration blog post. Read more. Breaking: cop who killed 12-year-old Tamir Rice on video finally fired, but not for killing a child. Typical merchant account companies can charge up to 5% of everything a company earns, with prices consisting of merchant processing costs, gateway fees, interchange costs, Visa, MasterCard, American Express charges, statement fees, and so on. Outside of the obvious reason of convincing businesses to go cashless so they can tax their sales into oblivion by creating a monopoly on accepting payments, the implications for control and surveillance are far more insidious. Visa, just like government, wants to monitor your spending habits and use that data to exploit humanity. This is why governments and banks across the world have almost simultaneously launched a war on cash. Earlier this year, the European Commission proposed enforcing restrictions on payments in cash under an all-too-familiar premise: terrorism. Payments in cash are widely used in the financing of terrorist activities, the Commission's proposal states. In this context, the relevance of potential upper limits to cash payments could also be explored. Several member states have in place prohibitions for cash payments above a specific threshold. According to the Commission's Inception Impact Assessment, cash has the important feature of offering anonymity to transactions. Such anonymity may be desired for legitimate reason, e.g. protection of privacy. But, such anonymity can also be misused for money laundering and terrorist financing purposes. The possibility to conduct large cash payments facilitates money laundering and terrorist financing activities because of the difficulty to control cash payment transactions. Just before the EU's announcement of their war on cash, Citibank announced similar moves and stated it will no longer accept cash deposits or deal in cash. Read more. Tossing a nonviolent handcuffed man multiple times is following procedure. Citibank Australia's head of retail bank Janine Copeland offered an explanation saying, "We have seen a steady decline in the demand for cash services in our branches. In fact, less than 4% of Citi customers have used this service in the last 12 months. The company stated it will no longer handle currency as a result. This move to cashless branches reflects Citi's commitment to digital banking, and we are investing in the channels our customers prefer to use. While the number of customers visiting our branches to access cash handling services has fallen, the branch network remains an important component of how we serve our high net worth customers," said Copeland. As Mises Institute professor, Joseph Salerno predicted in 2015, the war on cash is an inevitable move by big banks and the state. "I think this could come in the next couple of years. If they have to bail out the financial system again, they'll block the cash in the banks to prevent it from escaping and destabilizing these fractional reserve banks," Salerno said in an interview with Ron Paul. It appears that the Trump administration has already been preparing for this move by filling the swamp with Goldman Sachs execs and essentially remaining silent on his campaign promise to audit the Federal Reserve. Make no mistake, when governments and banks control and monitor 100% of what you spend, tyranny has set in. If ever there was a time to start investing in cryptocurrency and precious metals, it is now.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County COPWATCH, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County COPWATCH with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave let's say actually yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, you know, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head, help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.